Alright, so as some of you may know, a B17 just crashed at Bradley International Airport. I happen to work in the airport, so I one got a lot of information, two, basically that's just it. I got a lot of information. I know a lot of what happened, and I know some stuff that the news isn't reporting on, or wasn't until like just now. So basically, I'm working at at a part of the airport where I see the main runway, and I'll start with that all the way to what we're at currently. I noticed all traffic out on the tarmac stopped. Uh, there was no luggage being unloaded from planes, nothing being loaded on. Nobody was driving around out there. No planes were being refueled. I didn't see anybody, not even any crew on the ground doing anything. And all of a sudden, I see like 3 police cars flying from the right side of the airport to the left side, towards I guess where the crash ended up being. But they were flying down the tarmac, and then followed by them was other vehicles, first responder vehicles, firefighters, everything, ambulances, and basically, I was like, what's going on? So the airport, then I noticed TSA were not letting people in. So, and I asked somebody what happened. Somebody initially said it crashed into the Sheraton. Now, the Sheraton Hotel is built with, it's connected with the actual airport. The airport. So turns out that's not the actual case of what happened. It did hit a building. So when everybody said it hit a building, it did hit a building, and I'll get into that. So we're actually doing construction at the airport to build another parking garage, and it happened out near there. That's where it actually hit. So the plane, the B-17, it was taking off. So it was taking off from the runway, right? And it took the entire runway to get up. So something happened. Both left engines were dead. It got up though, and immediately, because if it had stopped, that's the thing that they're not reporting on. If it had tried to stop or something, it had already gotten enough momentum that it would be hard to do it at that point. It would have gone straight into a highway. We have Route 20 over there, and there's a big field between the tarmac and there, but it would have gone far enough that it would have gone into the highway. So I'm guessing, being intuitive, obviously the pilot said I can't do that, and cause a big thing. So he probably thought this would all be under control. Obviously we all would in this situation. So you're gonna not go into the highway. He's just gonna take off. He's gonna loop left. So he takes a long left turn, and he's flying really low. So he tries to come back. And from what I heard from one of the employees who works in the airport, they were requesting to land. I believe the runway is like 33. I don't know if that's the exact number, but basically, he was trying to land at one of the runways that it could have landed at, and traffic control said, no, you can't land there, because, whatever reason. Try the other one. And I guess that number, I think, was like 34. Again, I don't quote me on 33 or runway 34, but that's what I had heard. So he tried going towards that one, and again, he just didn't have enough to get him there, and he missed the actual he missed the hotel, and he probably came in sideways with the left end dipping lower, and so he came in, and in that construction area, so he smacked into he smacked into a glycol container tanker, and he smacked into one of those like portable, headquarters for construction, buildings that they use to do mapping and planning on inside, and like a break room. One of the towing ones, yeah, like smashed into one of those. That got obliterated, and it's hit a glycol container. Glycol is used to de-ice the planes, and is flammable. So from what we can tell, is the front cockpit got contorted off completely off of it. I believe, from what I've heard from first responders, is the actual pilot. It was a pilot, his wife, and somebody else or something within the cockpit, and they're not dead at this time, from what we've heard. Again, no one's been released, but from what we can tell, is they're not deceased. And yes, there are fatalities. The middle of the plane, the sector of the plane, that actually got obliterated, basically, and smacked into that glycol tanker, and it caught on fire, and big plumes of black smoke. And if you listen to, I was listening to the police scanner at this point on my phone, and they were saying that fuel just kept reigniting, and the tankers were saying we're down to like halfway of water. They're trying to get other tankers out there with water. So eventually they got it under control, but the American Airlines planes are the closest to where it happened. So a lot of those ground crew guys immediately, as soon as they saw this, took their little vehicles and they hauled ass over there to try to help out, because they were among like the actual first few people there. And so they head over, and from what I heard is they basically saw a lot of older people. Um, you know, they didn't say they specifically saw anybody that was already passed away, but it was older people. So I'm guessing that it was the three crew and the rest of the people on the plane. There's 12 people on the plane, three were crew. The other nine were maybe veterans, family of the pilots. It was maybe charity, but the actual what they're doing is they're paying $175 to take people up in the air, but that was going to go from 12 to 3, and this was obviously at like 10:40, 10:30. So this was not that. This was something separate, and that makes it even worse is because if it is older people, they're not going to maybe have it into them to for maybe a very heavy surgery, for being in the hospital, for an injury like the ones they might have sustained. So that's what's going to make this even sadder is when more information is released, if that's true. So yeah, that happened. All that's really left from what I could see when I went down there is the back tail. That's about it. Um, yeah, it's really tragic. Buddy of mine actually in Windsor Locks area, which is where this happened. He actually saw the fire and it rolling and whatnot. So yeah, that's what we know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I think I might know or I've heard. I believe the plane was based out of Stowe, Massachusetts. But yeah, so that's the reason it was here. It didn't crash I mean, technically, I guess you'd consider it crashing on takeoff, but it did take off the runway, and it did not crash. It wasn't like it was flying into the airport to have an emergency landing. It was based here. It is not always based here. It was here just for a historical kind of air stuff, air show, air for the public, and there was other aircraft here as well. It was not anything to do with the military. It's a non-profit foundation. I really hope everybody's okay. I mean, I hope there is some people that are okay. Um, sorry for coughing. I'm kind of got sick. So that's all I can really say. I hope that the news gets this right and reports it right. Have a good day.